Hi everybody, thank you so much for tuning in again today. My name's Jen. I'm with Allegory Gallery and JNT Creations in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. Thanks for tuning in again for another fun tutorial. I have something different for us today. If you like what we've been doing for you, please hit that subscribe button, like this video. If you want notifications anytime we post a new one, hit that bell. And show us what you've created on our Facebook group, Allegory Gallery Design Challenges. Thank you so much. Let's get started. We are going to make these cute little broom charms today. I use them to make earrings, but you can use them to make whatever you want. Make some necklaces, I don't know. Go nuts. I'm just going to show you how to make the broom and you decide to do what you want to do with it. So the colors I used, and I used mostly Sculpey, but I like the Primo too because it's nice and soft. The Souffle is really soft as well. Just pay attention to the bake times on them. Some of them may be different. Not entirely sure. I think most of them, where's the different one? The Primo is 275, and this one, yeah, 275. So they're all the same. But go ahead and preheat your oven for 175 because you're going to bake the handles first. And since you're just going to pre-bake them and then they're going to go in again, don't over bake them. So just do them at 15 minutes or for 15 minutes at 175. While you prepare for the straw part of your broom. And this is just a really rough design. You can change it around. You can get fancier if you want. After I did the handles, I used some eyeshadow to go into the grooves and kind of give it a little patina. But there are mica powders out there that you can go with. I have used dirt before, honestly. I mean, as long as you just make a darker impression in your little grooves and stuff to, you know, have some dark spots and some highlights, really doesn't matter. Some sculpting tools if you have them. If you don't have them, a toothpick will work. So I don't even know where I got this from. I've had it for years. And then I have a little rubber clay dauber paintbrushy kind of thing and a paintbrush for the mica rubs. And I have some liquid polymer because we're pre-baking the handles. We want to use some of the liquid polymer when we attach the wet stuff to it. I did mix my straw color here, but I will explain how I did that. And I have a cutter here. I didn't really use it too much, and if you don't have one, just an X-Acto knife or a straight edge razor will work. And I have two pieces here, roughly 2 inches. This is a 20 gauge copper. You could probably get away with 22, but because you're gonna, use these as a charm and they're somewhat thin, you are gonna want some support in there. I put support in my mushroom stems too when I'm gonna have them kind of sticking out of a thing. So if you've got thin polymer and you're going to have them in a spot where they could get knocked around quite a bit, it's always a good idea to throw some wire in there for some support. All right. So the colors I used in the Sculpey Souffle is cinnamon, orange in the Primo. I used chocolate in the Sculpey, and then I used yellow in the Sculpey. I've already got some out here. And I did pre-soften them, but they kind of harden up a little bit. So before we get going, I'll just kind of give them a little what for. And you really aren't going to need too much. First things first, let's do our wire forms. So with my round nose pliers, I'm going to go to the end and I'm going to make a big loop where that handle's going to be. Just kind of make a rough shape how you want that. I don't want it completely round. I want to kind of give it a little character. And notice I'm doing them both together so that I have sisters and twins, if you will. On our earrings to mirror one another. Get in there with my flat nose, kind of open that up a little bit more. There we go. There I look. Again, you don't have to be precise. Just go with a form you're happy with. It's relatively the same. All right. And if you are using them for earrings, have your loops go in different directions if you don't have them centered. I kind of have them cockeyed a little bit. First things first, let's take our chocolate and we're going to make our broomsticks. So I roughly pinched off 2 pieces here. I'm going to roll that out into a snake or a log. Now you don't have to pre-bake your handle if you want. Just be careful when you're handling it that you don't bend it out of shape. I'm going to actually get away with just one of those pinches. I'm going to roll this out and cut it into 2 pieces. Let's just make a nice uniform snake. And this little guy is roughly 4 inches. So I'm going to cut that into 2 pieces. Actually, that was 4.5. All right, so we have 2 logs here. I'm going to round off that one end, give it a little point. Doesn't matter too much. This is kind of a free spirit, willy-nilly, go with your gut kind of project here. So let's follow that curve on top of that wire there. And so your fingers don't stick, let's use your little dauber here. It's knock over your liquid polymer. My fingers are really warm, so it wants to stick. And since it's wood, and since it's Halloween-y, I want to make that kind of rustic looking. The same on the other one. Don't worry if your brooms don't match. No two brooms are alike. Cut off your excess at the bottom, the end of that wire. Okay, that's step one. Flip them over. And now we need to incorporate that wire. We don't want to flip. Okay, you're gonna flip because I said so. Whatever means you need to do to cover that wire completely, go for it. My fingers are so warm and it's really heating up this clay. So just push, prod, twist, gnarl. And the awesome thing about this is your fingerprints become like part of the wood grain. These little rubber dauber tools are really handy. I love them. And you'll notice I did close up the hole that we had done. So we are going to put that hole back. Just play with it until you're happy. I'm going to let that one harden up just a little bit since it's so warm for me playing with it. Work on this one. And if you find that your polymer sticks to your mat, use a straight edge. This wire is just being really stubborn. The other thing you can do is take some of your scraps that you already pulled off, make some little pieces. And cover up those spots where that wire is still coming through. You want to make them roughly the same size if you're doing earrings. Okay. Go ahead and this is a little ball tool, little handy picker upper, whatever you need it for when it comes to sculpting. So just go in the center of where you know that wire is not and make your little holes. The struggle is real today. This is where you want to perfect your log look. Do some wood grain in there. Sometimes I use my little tool. Run it loosely. Down, smooth out some of the edges. Make some other ones rougher. If you have any other polymer on your board, don't worry. That's what the patina will take care of. The great thing about making natural stuff, it's gnarly, it's not perfect. Just play with it until you're happy. If you want to add a few little curves in there, you can take like the end of your brushes, just roll it on the corner there, just a little squinch. Make it a little bit more round. If you are concerned about the back, go ahead and do the same thing on the back. Make sure it's all covered. I think I'm about happy with that shape. I'm making these ones here a little bit longer than my first ones. Go ahead and make yours as long as you want. Let's get the brown out of the way now. Now for the mop part, I am going to start with this orange. And it's roughly just a little pinch, not too much. And I'm going to split that in two. Looks like one of my hands is a little bigger than the other, so I'm just going to take a little bit more off of that one. And now I'm going to form a little triangle. So I'm just going to kind of pinch it and push that at the same time. When you get your sticks formed, that's when you would go ahead and pre-bake it. Or give it the first bake, if you will. That way, every time you touch it from here on out, you're not in danger of it going out of shape. But for time-saving purposes, we are just going to go with the flow and work with it wet. Okay, so I'm forming that triangle again. I'm just kind of pinching it at the top, flattening it with my thumb and finger on the other side till it is roughly the same size. This is going to all get covered. It's just a base for your moppy goodness over here. So just kind of push that in there and make sure it adheres real good. Spread it out with your little dauber. And this kind of scores it too, so you can add your wispy stuff. Just get those about the same size. Pre-release them from your board in case you stuck them down. And then make sure that they're roughly the same size. And they are. Now we get to add the fun stuff. So the cinnamon color, I'm just going to take a little pinch. Roll it out a little bit. And this will be our band. And that guy is just over an inch. So cut that into 2 pieces. And take a little bit more of your cinnamon. Take some of your yellow and just a little bit of orange, if you will, and kind of mix those until you're really happy with that color. I like to have big chunks. See, I'm just squeezing it together. I'm not really too concerned. I'm going to add some of that cinnamon in there too. The predominant color I do want is going to be that yellow. And I'm just going to lay my mess down right here. And any of the other colors we're already done with, go ahead and get those out of my way. There, so I'm left with that. Or what I did here, left with that. Now at this point, because you would have had your stick pre-baked, you want to take a little bit of your liquid Sculpey or your liquid polymer, and you would just paint a little bit there and there. You can use this on wet too. It's not going to hurt it. But just for demonstration purposes, there we go. This will actually bake and harden just like regular polymer, and it's basically like a polymer glue. So then take either your toothpick, or if you have some of these sculpting tools, and you want to just basically go like that. You know what? I am going to add some more yellow to that. It's not quite enough straw color for me. There we go. I'm liking that. So I want just a few dark spots. Twist it. There we go. Much better. I like that. So look, I'm just taking my little ball. If you don't have one of those, I'll show you with the toothpick. You're just scraping and making these rough pieces. And you're going to take these pieces one by one and lay them onto your broom. Doing kind of the spikier ones up here by the handle, uneven. Because we want it real rustic. Just kind of poke those in there and get them to adhere. Blend. And repeat your process. Just work in little pieces at a time. Go ahead and use that Dauber tool again if you need to. At this point, you're just filling in those gaps and covering that orange. Don't be intimidated by clay. Unless you're going to get into serious polymer, this is really just Play-Doh for adults. You're supposed to have fun with it. I flattened mine. Be careful so you don't flatten your stuff. And just fill that in until you're happy with it, really. But if I'm doing earrings, don't I want to worry about the back too? Yes, we will worry about the back after we do the front. But you can do the back first if you want. It's entirely up to you. I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to flip it over. Do the same on the other side. Don't be too rough with it on the back so you don't squish your work on the front. But we're going to go back and adjust that anyway. If you don't want your earrings very heavy, definitely go smaller. Polymer is not too heavy, but if you have sensitive ears, go smaller. If you see any more of those little orange gaps, just keep going until you fill them in. Okay, let that one cool. Make sure you got your sides covered too. Just give it one good little tap down. Get that into the shape that you're happy with. Add some lines down the back if you want. Check your sides. Okay, so now I've adjusted it the way that I like. If you have not pre-baked and you would like to do your patina, I am just gonna go in the grooves a little bit with some black. Again, this is eyeshadow, but I mean, I don't wear black eyeshadow. I hardly wear any at all, so wouldn't I look weird with black eyes? I'm just gonna kind of fill in those grooves just a little bit. Not too much because I still want to see the brown. And I want to hide this white that was on my board and dirtied up my brown. So apply the mica powders or whatever you're using, dirt if you will. Apply it to wet clay or else it won't stick. And repeat on the other side. sure you get the sides too. And then go through your holes again there just to make sure. You don't have any rough edges. And you got a nice clean hole going through both sides. So these ones are going to wind up being more pendant size, I think. I think they're a little big for earrings, but some people like big earrings. Just play with your size, play with your wire. All right, I'm happy with that. Now the last part is putting on your band. And this one I did not put on the back of these because I just kind of blended it in there. Not really concerned with having that on both sides. But by all means, if you want to do it on both sides, then go for it. And the first thing I'm going to do is make a little line right about where I want them. Use a toothpick if that's your tool. And then I'm going to roll my sides just a little bit here. There we go. Give it kind of more of a little wispy look to it. And if you haven't pre-baked your handles, be very careful not to over-handle it because it's a little bit of clay. It will heat up quickly and it will bend out of shape. Make sure everything's laying flat. You've got your stuff where you want it. Now let's pick up that band and center that. I want a little bit of texture on mine. I'm going to flatten it in there first. Making those little indentations on purpose with the bowl. And then I'm poking that down on the side. Once you get it where you want it, go ahead and trim off that excess. And just go through one final time and make sure everything is tapped down the way you want it before you make it permanent. Gonna add a little more texture to my band. Alrighty. So if you don't want to heat up your oven, consequently heating up your house, if you don't have AC, or if your AC is running and you so on and so forth, yada yada. Some people use a toaster oven. I have not, so I am not really very skilled at telling you how to do that. I think you would just want to make sure that you don't have your temperature up too high, so you don't scorch your polymer. You definitely do not want to over bake polymer. It makes it brittle, it will break, you won't be happy, it'll burn, and all that work you just did will go to waste. So I'm going to tell you the way I do it, which is following the package instructions. If I pre-bake my handles, I did that at 175 for 15 minutes. I took it out, I let it cool. I used liquid polymer for the rest of the adhesion of things. When you bake it now, after you've gotten your straw on, that oven should be preheated to 275 for the Sculpey clay, and this Primo one is also 275. Some of them are less. I don't think I've ever come across one that's more, but I know that some of them are less. So just follow the directions on the package and you should be fine. And I leave these ones in for 15 minutes. I put them on a piece of parchment paper when I put it in. Some people use a ceramic tile and use that tile all the time for everything. I just use the parchment paper. I'm sorry. Downside of working late in the day, your brain turns off sometimes. So bake that then for 15 minutes at 275. Pull it out, let it cool off. It shouldn't take long, and you will have nice hard polymer. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you had fun. I know I did. If you like this video, please hit that like button, share it, and don't forget about the bell. Hit that bell and you'll get notified every time we post a new video. Post what you've created for us, please. We'd love to see it on our Facebook group, Allegory Gallery Design Challenges. Thank you so much. Take care.